Hi everybody, this is Leah from the Trillium Creative. Thanks for coming to my channel and joining me today. I wanted to share with you just a simple idea, a couple ideas actually. So I don't know about you, but this week after the holidays, this first week back to work, I do have a corporate job, which I think I've mentioned, but Monday through Friday job. Thankfully, I do work remotely from home, but you know, that first week back after the holidays is always difficult. And add to that the fact that I haven't crafted really since before even Thanksgiving. So I'm in a bit of a funk, but I really feel the need to do some crafting to kind of release some stress and whatnot. So I actually had one day this week where I got done with work and I told my husband, I was like, I need to go play with some paper just to release some stress, to let my brain just kind of chill out. So I just came into my craft room. Well, first of all, I sat down and wrote out some words, just jotted down some words on a piece of paper that I thought I might want to use in the future in some junk journals or on some collages, ephemera, things like that. So I just jotted them down, and then I have a set of rubber stamps, alphabet stamps. Well, actually I have a couple sets. So I have one that's all caps, one that's lowercase, and then these other ones that are just kind of fun different fonts, and they have boxes around them. So then I sat down at my desk and I just got my inks out and some of my distress inks, and then also I have some, I can't think of the name at the moment. I will put it in the description here. Just that are more permanent and not affected by water. So these on the top here are just some random letters in different colors that I thought, you know, might be kind of fun with collaging. And then I also actually stamped out some of the words that I had jotted down. So there's some lowercase words, and then let's see if I can find one of the other one. So I just used random scraps of paper that I had from, you know, other collages, from cut-offs from journal pages, or signature pages, I should say, and just stamped on them. And the words I mostly did in black, and then like a kind of brown, vintage brown color. So the idea is that I have these ready to go when I, you know, have a day where I'm feeling a little bit more, wanting to do a little bit more complicated, you know, collaging or decorating. That day, all I could really do is do some stamping. But that helps me get back into the crafting mood, I guess. And this project that I want to share with you today is another one of those things. I have my distress inks out, distress oxides. I will say you don't necessarily have to use these specific inks to do this project. I was very lucky in that I was gifted most of these for my birthday this last year. I did not go out and purchase all of these at one time. I, in fact, started with a set of the distress ink of the minis just to test them out and see if I actually liked them to the point where I wanted to spend more money on more colors. And like I said, most of these were gifted to me, so I think I maybe bought one or two of them. I'm actually gonna, first of all, test out some of these colors because it's been a little while since I've used them. A couple I just opened, so I don't even know really what the color is, because what I have found is that the color on the label may not be the exact color that I get on my papers. So what I'm going to be doing today is some stenciling. I have a journal that I started a few months ago that still needs some things to kind of jazz it up. But first I want to test my colors to see which ones I want to actually use in this journal. So for stenciling, I use these, they call them makeup brushes. I guess that's where they originated from. I don't watch makeup videos, so the only time I've ever seen them was when other crafters were using them for stenciling and, distressing and things like that. I also, as you can tell, am not very good at cleaning out my brushes. I just personally don't care that much, so I don't mind if the colors mix. I don't, from what I have seen, colors drying on my brush don't affect the actual function of the brush enough to where I really care. And to me, the time that it takes to wash out the brush and dry one of these brushes, because it's so dense, it's not worth it to me. Now, you may feel differently. I know because, some people feel really strongly that you shouldn't mix colors between the different ink pads. They are expensive, and so if you're worried about colors, mixing and you don't want that, then definitely wash out your brushes. And I probably should pay more attention to that. I do have separate daubers for other types of projects. I do use I have a blue dauber and a red dauber and so I generally keep those colors separate on the daubers, but I don't have enough makeup brushes to do that at the moment. So we're just kind of free here and mix as, needed or as desired. So the journal, I'll show you what the journal looks like that I'm working on. So this is the journal that I'm working on. It's made out of file folders that I bought at the thrift store. I actually saw Pam at the Paper Outpost do a project where she used one of these as a cover for just a random project that she got a whim to make. And I liked it. I liked the look of it, the color of it, and I found some at the thrift store. So I was like, all right, we're going to go with it. So this is the journal that I'm kind of in process. You can see I've done some things like pockets and a little bit of decorating here and there. But I have some pages like this that I want to do some decorating on. These were digi kits that I printed, but I didn't print on the back. I have already done, this was the very beginning of my distressing attempts. And so I do have a little bit of brown ink. I think that was a vintage photo on the back here. But I want to do some actual stenciling in addition to that. So the colors of this journal are very generally kind of earthy. I have already used some aged mahogany ink to distress some of the pages. Let's see if I can find one here. So this is an envelope that is sewn into the signature like a page, and you can see I've done some distressing around the edges there with the aged mahogany. I really that was a new thing that I had gotten right before I started this journal, and I thought the color would look well with the dark green, kind of aged green look of the cover. So, and then also the fabric that I used in the spine. So anyways, that probably will be one that I use. Definitely the greens are contenders, although these greens tend to be a little bit brighter than I would have expected. So we're just gonna test out some colors here. And that looks very light actually. It's light, but it's a pretty bright color, bright green. So don't freak out, but I'm gonna go from ink pad to ink pad here. So that one's not, these are very kind of subtle. I also got some tracing paper because there's some tracing paper pages out in there. So I think this one's out. That one's a little too yellow for this journal, I think. So we may stick with the bundled sage. And then let's actually test this on the tracing paper too. It doesn't show very much at all actually, so it's a really subtle look. And these are the oxides, so they're a little bit different look than like the inks would be. They're gonna have a little bit more chalky look to them. Let's try the dark blue that I have. And of course on the tracing paper, the cutting mat is coming through more. I really like that blue. I've used it on a few other things too, and that's really pretty. Okay, and then just for fun, I already kind of know what this looks like, but we'll look at this one. So it's more of a red color, and that's an ink, not an oxide, so it has a little bit different look to it. All right, so I think, well, let's try this one. I think these two are too bright for this journal, so I think I'm gonna just skip those. And then try this faded blue jeans. Actually, that might be more in line with the colors I'm already using in this journal. So okay, I think that's the winner. We might use some of this bundled sage. We'll put these off to the side. And then what we've got is faded jeans, the bundled sage, and then the aged mahogany. So now that we test those out, get the actual journal. And then I have a variety of stencils. This is a new one I haven't used yet. It's from Walmart. I don't remember what their brand is. It's like Hello Hobby or Hobby Craft or something like that. So that's kind of florals. This is a fun one I've used before, obviously. Also, don't clean my stencils very much, so yeah. I have attempted to clean them before, and it's not very easy, so I have not made a priority of that. Here's a botanical one. Hopefully you can actually see what the patterns are. These are just some random cheap ones. I don't even remember where I got them from. It might have been Dollar Tree. It might have been Walmart. They're just different patterns. You can tell I've used that one before too, with the oxides. And then these were a couple that I got from Dollar Tree that have these spinny tops, which they kind of were annoying me last time I tried to use it, so I may end up taking that off, but we'll see. These are just some feathers, arrows, kind of bohemian type thing, and then these are different patterns. Again, just kind of background patterns. So I think I want to start with that new one that I haven't used yet. I really like the ferns on here, so we'll see how that works out. Should we try tracing paper page. I'm going to take this altered paper clip out just because I feel like that's going to cause some problems with the stencil. So let's just try this here on the edge, in the corner of that page. And I'm going to go real traditional here and just use bundled sage. You know, traditional because ferns are typically green. Not always, but most of the time. So, see if this actually shows up. And of course, this is a little bit more complicated because the journal is not a flat journal, of course. We have, you see some other colors picked up there. And actually, I don't mind that. That's kind of fun. So, okay, so there's that. So we ended up with a little bit of a gray, and that will, I'm sure that's because I mixed colors, so be warned, that's the danger of not cleaning your brushes out. So, okay, so here's a white page. It's tea or coffee stained on one side, but somehow that didn't go through onto the other side. So, let's see, should we try a different one? Maybe we'll do blue. And we'll just do a little bit here on the edge of the page. Should we do that? Just to kind of break things up a little bit. Actually, I'm going to do this so that it's not a straight edge that ends up. And you don't necessarily have to do the whole stencil. Just do what you feel like. Sometimes you might end up with lighter spots, and that's okay. So isn't that fun? That's kind of fun. I like that. And maybe actually I'll do a little bit over on this side. So this is one of those projects that does not require a lot of thought. It's one that's just kind of fun and doesn't require a lot of commitment or time. You know, you can do a few pages, and then if you need to get up and go do something else, you can. Doesn't require a lot of brain power. I think I already said that in a different way, but it's just kind of, I think it's one of those projects or one of those types of things that it makes it a lot easier to just jump back into crafting and maybe get out of a little bit of funk if you're in that kind of a place. So I think we'll do flower. Should maybe in the middle, top middle. Now the question is, what color do we do? I'm just gonna, I'm gonna go for the red. And I'm not pressing super hard. I'm just gonna do a light one here. See that? Maybe on the bottom? Should I do the bottom? Oh, got a little stuck. Oh, I have a sticker on here. I think that's from the original packaging. So, yeah. So that's not super complicated. Just keep going. I might do some stamping on that one since it's so close. Let's pick a random other page. So we're in the second signature now. I think I have three. Yeah, I have 3 signatures in this one. Just another altered paper clip. So we will do maybe a little bit of this. I'm just going to go with what's left on my brush there. So it adds a little bit of pattern. Pick up a little bit more red. So yeah. Okay, one of my lights just went out, so hopefully it's not too dark. I guess the battery died, so we're picking back up. Maybe this one. So before that happened, I was asking how you guys did with how you guys are doing, what you're working on. You know, maybe now that the holidays are over, are you getting back into crafting? Are you burnt out from crafting for the holidays? I know a lot of people, I'm in some Facebook groups and stuff for crafting, and I know if your stencil moves, just try to put it back best you can and move on. So yeah, I know a lot of people were making, you know, a lot of crafters make things for gifts for Christmas, and so sometimes they're a little burnt out after Christmas and they don't want to do any crafting. Let's see, I think maybe I want to do another fern. So which one are you? Are you burnt out, or are you eager to get back into crafting? Like I said, I did not do like any crafting between Thanksgiving and Christmas because I didn't have anywhere to do it. The table that I typically use for crafting before I got my desk was in use out in the dining room. So I didn't have anywhere to craft unless I drug all my supplies out from the spare room out into the dining room kitchen area. So, and I just didn't feel like doing that. So I didn't end up doing any crafting. I did have some Christmas ornaments that I wanted to try out. I think I want to do this one. Maybe we'll do it right in the middle. Anyways, there was a couple Christmas tree ornaments that I wanted to try making, but didn't get around to doing it this season between Thanksgiving and Christmas. So maybe making those afterwards and then packing them into the Christmas decorations box. Spoiler, I have not undecorated from Christmas yet. It is January 7th, and I am debating because it's always a little depressing to me to take the Christmas decorations down, because then I don't have any like winter decorations for my house, so it just goes back to like normal, very minimal decorations around the house, and it's always just a little sad. And so the last couple years especially, I have been really procrastinating taking down the Christmas decorations. And my husband is about to go on a work trip, and so part of me is like, maybe I will just wait until he's gone, and then that will be one of the projects I can work on while he's away. So to help keep me distracted. I'm jabbering, and now I'm getting distracted from stenciling. So, let's see. Do I want to do that one again? I really like this one. And of course my color on my brush is very red at the moment. So, but I want to do blue. Should we do just something in the middle? Maybe we'll just do across the middle. Almost like a belly band, but not an actual belly band. I mean, it doesn't hold anything, it's just decorative, that. Yeah, I don't have a recipient in mind for this journal. I just really wanted to try out that idea of the manila. Well, I call it manila. I don't know if that's the actual term for it, but the file folder as the cover, and it seemed to lend itself to this kind of nature traveler kind of concept for me, and so which I love doing anyway. Let's do some green because I haven't done that one in a little bit. So I may end up putting this up in my Etsy shop. My Etsy shop isn't actually up and running yet, but I do have some that turned out brown. Well, that's fine. That's fine. We're just going to go with it. So I will be starting an Etsy shop with some junk journaling stuff, and then with also some of my crochet projects, crocheted items. So this is basically a video of what not to do. Do not mix your colors, especially all right at the same time, because you will end up with brown, most likely. Especially if you're using a dark color like my aged mahogany. Let's try a different one on here. See, these little flap things, like I understand why they have them, but for what I use them for, oh, that's kind of fun. The flaps just get in the way, I feel like. So, should we try green again? We'll try green again. I don't know that it's going to do anything, but it may just be brown. Oh, it looks like there's a little green in there. Let's get some more. So the one thing about these brushes is that they all seem to have really narrow necks. So I tend to hold mine on the neck because I'm afraid if I hold it on the handle, it's going to snap. And I know some other people have had that problem. So just beware if you go and buy them. I'm not a huge fan of that color, but it's like a brownish green. It kind of fits, so we'll just go with it. There's another altar paper clip. There's another tissue page, or tracing paper page. Should we do one more? I really like these ferns. Let's try a different fern. We'll go for some more green. And get hopefully a lot on here, and then it will be, that's my theory anyway, get more green to outweigh the other colors. There's probably some, like, of all the people watching, especially my mom. If my mom is watching this, she's going to be like, what are you doing? You need to clean those brushes, those poor brushes. That one actually turned out pretty green. I like that. Hopefully that comes across on camera. Okay, so we're already at the end of the journal. So that was pretty quick. Obviously, I have not done a whole lot of decorating in here, so there will be more to come on this. And so yeah, there's some of our stenciling. I left that one blank. That one has some other color on it, so I think that one's fine. But yeah, I'll probably go back and add some stamping, so that may be a future video as well. Stamping and inking and stenciling, those kinds of things are really great in my mind for getting out of a funk. So if you're, in a funk, try one of those. And, you know, honestly, you don't have to have a bunch of fancy stencils. I just like randomly pick up stencils as I see them. Like I said, most of these are from Dollar Tree or Walmart. They're super cheap and they have a big impact. And if you don't have the distress oxides, I believe, you know, you can use other things to stencil with. You don't have to have these specific types of inks, because I know they're not super budget friendly. So, you know, you can use even paints and stuff like that, like with a good stiff brush. You know, just try things out. You can even, like, if you're wanting to jazz up a page, you can even do some like watercolor. Yeah, just play. Junk journaling is supposed to be fun. You know, that's why we do it, and it's your junk journal. You can do whatever the heck you want to do with it. And if, you know, everybody likes different things, do it for you, what you like, what you think looks cool, and somebody else out there is going to think it's cool too. And even if they don't, who cares? You know, you're doing it for your, at least for me, I craft for my own sanity. This is what helps me de-stress. And I just love playing with papers, you know, different textures and feel and, you know, the sound that certain ones make. You know, that's why I put tissue paper in here, because it just has like a wonderful crinkly sound. So yeah, anyway, I hope you all are having a great day. I hope you're having fun with your papers, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.